everyone, and welcome to this week's Watershed walk. My name's Brooklyn, and today we are out doing some cabin sampling. You may ask yourself, what does cabin mean? It stands for Canadian Aquatic Biomonitoring Network. So today we're going to be doing multiple different steps for this process, and we will take you along with us. So the first step to this process is the benthic kick, which Laura is going to demonstrate now, and she's going to do this for 3 minutes along this riffle, and we're going to collect our benthic macroinvertebrates. So we do this benthic kick first because we don't want to be walking through this riffle and disrupt the bottom of the river, and because that would influence our sample that we're trying to get. Once we collect our sample, we want to make sure that we spray all the net walls down and get all of the sample down to the bottom of the net. Oh, there's a big fish in there, a dace.
Right now, Abby is double checking to make sure all the benthics are out of the net. Now, this is Brooklyn, and she's going to be doing some of our swirls. So they're called bucket swirls, and the idea of it is to create a centrifuge that will separate the benthics from the substrate.
So I'm swirling the bucket around. It's a lot of stuff in here right now, so it's kind of difficult. But you kind of swirl it, and then I'm going to dump it into the sieve.
And for this site, we're doing quality assurance, quality control. So we're going to be keeping all of the leaves and everything, as well as the rocks. And Brooklyn's now adding more water to do another bucket swirl. And there is a minimum of 12 bucket swirls per site to ensure we get all of the benthics, and for consistency reasons.
Okay, we're now looking at all the leaves and cleaning them off, and then we're gonna wash all the benthics off, make sure there's nothing left on the leaf, and then Abby is gonna take a second look at the leaf, and then we're gonna put it in our quality assurance, quality control jar.
And there's actually a ton of benthics in this sample, but now we're gonna go ahead and put our sample into our sample jar, and this will be what the lab personnel will sort through and identify all of the different genuses and species. Typically, they're just able to get down to the genus rather than the species of benthic invertebrates. So many. So some of those big guys are stoneflies. A lot of those are stoneflies. And we dilute the alcohol solution with water, because you don't need that much alcohol to euthanize these guys, and we're euthanizing them for science, to see the quality of our streams, since they are bioindicators, which means that they indicate water quality depending on certain parameters. So some of these species might be able to indicate whether or not there's toxins in the river, or the presence or absence of toxins if they are very sensitive creatures. We are currently doing a pebble count, which is where we measure 100 pebbles for the axis B, which is how it would roll down, which is basically the width. And we also do, for every 10 stones or pebbles collected, we do embeddedness. So Abby, the next one is embeddedness. This is our sheet here. 50? That is 50% embedded.
7.9. We're now surveying the slope of this riffle. So Abby's standing downstream of the riffle, and then for our second measurement, she'll stand on the upstream end of the riffle. So we are now measuring the wetted width, which is the length of the water, basically. Now that we've measured wetted width, we are getting flow at 5 different points of this river. We are now going to get the bankful width of this river, and then we're going to measure from the measuring tape down to the surface of the water.
Are you at it, Abby?
We just finished our cabin assessment on Ward's Creek.
Time to go back to the office and enter the data into the computer and wait for our benthic results from the lab. Make sure to watch next week.
Wait, what did you?
Tears in my eyes.
We just finished our cabin assessment on Ward's Creek.